And today I have Terry from Infinite Iodine on. And when I say Infinite Iodine, just know this: we are the only pure iodine and non-toxic iodine. Believe it or not, almost all the other iodines, and I'll have maybe Terry will confirm this, but most of those are like medication. If you were to take those on a daily basis, you're going to get yourself into trouble. How would you like to take a metabolic iodine that you will not get into trouble? There is no toxic dosage with it. And we're going to be talking today about metabolism, weight loss, weight gain, and immunity. Terry?
Always a pleasure to be with you, Daryl.
Thank you, sir.
Let's talk a little bit about iodine, and we'll have some fun today, and we'll be able to, I guess, pique people's interest a little bit about iodine. So a good place to start is it's in us all right now. It has to be. If we didn't have iodine in us right now, we wouldn't be here. It's one of the 25 crucial elements that we have to have in our body. So,
but if I didn't have enough iodine, Terry, what are the symptoms of it? What are the symptoms?
Well, then we have so the idea of saying that we all have to have iodine in us right now is critical. Most people don't know that. However, insufficient iodine has a massive impact on our health and longevity and how long we live on this earth and how sick we get and how healthy we are from a cellular perspective. And that's where iodine works. It's very, very simple. It's a pure element. And for the past 200 years, we've been trying to control it to do different things. We've tried to control it as a disinfectant, and we've, betadine, you've heard of betadine, tincture of iodine, things like that have been used as a disinfectant because molecular iodine is what are in these compounds, and it is the molecular iodine that is nature's finest disinfectant. It's been studied by the medical world for 200 years on how it kills bacteria and how it deactivates viruses and fungus and things like that. So it's incredibly well understood by the medical and the science community. From an ingestion perspective, well, that had taken, it was discovered in 1811 by accident by one of Napoleon's chemists. That said, another 10, 12 years later, a physician, started to connect the dots because seaweed came from the ocean. This element iodine had evolved from ash out of seaweed. So he put the dots together and said, this is something that we need in our bodies because people that live near the ocean and had high content of fish or had high content of seaweed and ocean vegetables in their diet didn't seem to have the same health issues that were showing up at the time with the rest of the population. And goiter was an issue, and people have heard the term goiter. Well, that's essentially your thyroid growing way too large because it's overworking to try and extract iodine that's not present in our bloodstream because we're not eating or ingesting the sufficient products that are available in order for that to happen.
Right.
But when you see it visually, Daryl, you know that a massive amount of damage has already been done to the inside cellular structure and organs in our body by the time we start to see the outward appearance of goiter. Insufficiency has a massive impact on us. So the health organization, the World Health Organization, has been trying to educate us for 70 years that, we have a problem with iodine deficiency, and they put it on the table salt. And today, very few people even know why it's there. But it's required at a cellular level in order for us to ingest it as an iodide or an iodine. But once we ingest it and it goes into our stomach, it then can convert to different species of iodine that are incredible. And this is a cyclical element that's magical for us from that perspective, because iodide in our stomach, based on certain stomach acids, will convert it over to a molecular iodine. And molecular iodine, that's betadine. What gets released is molecular iodine. So our bodies produce a world-class disinfectant. This is a term that we use, but it's from nature. This is something 100% natural. So molecular iodine is now in our bloodstream. We have iodide in our bloodstream. It goes past our thyroid. It extracts some of the iodide and turns it into atomic iodine for a third form to become T3, T4 hormones that are critical at a cellular level. So the interesting thing as a human, we start out as one cell. And providing the right building blocks and materials are there, the right elements are there, we can actually turn into a human. So in a 9-month span, we go from being one cell to 20 trillion cells And a key part of that whole development process in every single cell are those three different forms of iodine. You have atomic iodine on your T3, T4s. You have molecular iodine in there for two purposes. One is to ensure the cell's health, and the other one is to terminate it at the end of its life. Once again, a magical thing that happens there with molecular iodine to protect it as well as terminate it when the cell has reached its lifespan. And the other one is iodide that provides the ultimate nutritional environment for that cell, just like any other life, to be able to thrive and flourish and grow and reproduce. If those components aren't there, they can't reproduce. So when women get pregnant, if they don't have enough iodide or insufficient amount, we're going to end up with something less than a perfect baby. And that's what's been going on for the last 30, 40, 50 years, because we're not getting enough iodide into our system. We've gone through
We're
a massive
also
population growth.
even
Yes.
lower brain function. We know that, right?
Lower IQ,
Yeah.
anywhere from 10 to 20 points lower IQ. And that is an enormous difference. So every mother wants her child to be born perfect with the 10 fingers and the 10 toes, but they also have a brain that needs to work correctly. They have to have a nervous system that's working correctly, a skeletal structure at a cellular level. That's how important iodine is to us. So when I say iodine is in all of us, we wouldn't be here without it. Now, with regards to the different things it does, we've just talked about the three different forms: iodide, molecular iodine, as well as atomic iodine for our thyroid hormone. So when we take a look at it at a cellular level and we talk about the structure around that, oddly enough, things seem to come in threes, because we have those three different forms of iodine these species are incredibly important to us at a cellular level. And we have our endocrine system, which consists of our thyroid, our immune system, and our metabolism. Very closely connected because they're part of the endocrine system. So we know that the thyroid is producing the hormones for every single cell and organ in our body, including our skin organs. The organ is the largest, our skin is the largest organ on our body, and it requires an enormous amount of iodine and iodide at a cellular level in order to keep our skin healthy. And now you can just get down to the inside of your body at a cellular level, requires the same thing. So we lose 1 million cells a minute. We have to be able to replace those with the fundamental building blocks every day. So think of it from this perspective. From my point of view, we were genetically designed to live near the ocean, and I'll give just a quick explanation as to why. The human body scavenges iodide or iodine 24/7, whether you know it or not. Your body's going to do it. So it's not something you can consciously think of and say, oh, I'm going to walk over here in order to have iodide in my body. But if you're walking by the ocean, the largest reservoir of iodide in the world is in the ocean, and we need it at a cellular level. So as you're walking past the ocean, you're actually breathing iodide into your lungs. It's going into your bloodstream, so your thyroid can use it. And your body can use it for what it needs at a cellular level. You go for a swim in the ocean, iodide is absorbed through our skin into our bloodstream so that our cells can use it on the way through the skin. And when it gets to the blood, your thyroid gets converted into the hormones that we need in every cell of our body that needs to be produced. Now, you eat a piece of fish coming out of the ocean, whether or not it's seaweed or fish, they all have a background of iodide, but we're looking for the highest content to come out of the ocean. So that would be seaweed. And in the case of fish, it's really cod or haddock. Salmon doesn't have very much. Shark doesn't have much. Most of the fish do not have a high content by comparison to cod. And the interesting thing is that, you're looking at a 4 or 5 ounce piece of cod when you ingest iodide into your stomach. So cod has got, in a 5 ounce piece of fish, you've got close to, 130 to 150 micrograms in there. But the fact is when it gets into your stomach, molecular iodine gets produced. Molecular iodine is what protects us. That's part of our immune system. And we went through this on an earlier show to say we have 4 warriors, and what we ingest every day will dictate how strong those warriors are in our body. Molecular iodine is one of those. It's been studied for 200 years in nature. We know what it can do. The science communities worked against the microbial world to say, here's what it can do. Here's how it helps us. That's why they started to use it as a topical disinfectant. It's the best that's been delivered to us from nature. So from that perspective, when we get into how our metabolism runs, very seldom to our immune system, where Iodine is one of its warriors. When it comes to the metabolism, iodine is critical for our metabolism to function. So iodine at a cellular level is in our metabolism. So let's talk about metabolic energy versus, I don't want to call it fake energy, but when people drink energy drinks and things along those lines, they're looking for a very quick hit. And that really is not providing more energy. It's more of a chemical thing that goes on in order to fool your brain to think that you're still full of energy. Well, you're really not. And caffeine is another one of those that was introduced in order to help the global workforce work all day and be able to keep more active. But the fact is, the caffeine, what that does is it replaces a signal being sent from your cells to your brain to say, we're tired, we need to rest now. Well, caffeine blocks that signal because it fills a receptor in your brain, and you think you're still going with full of energy. So there's many different things that we consume in our body, but the important ones, when it comes to our metabolism, for example, is being part of the endocrine system. Our metabolism functions better with iodine and iodide in it at a cellular level. The work that's been done over the 200 years, when they did look at how our metabolism interacts with it, the interesting thing is that in the presence of iodide inside the metabolic cell, it allows nutrients to be processed more efficiently into energy. And that's what our metabolism is all about, is how to take the food that we ate and turn it into the energy that we need to be active every day versus very lethargic, overweight, and going in that direction, which is not good for our body or our longevity. Very simple. So when it comes to metabolism, one thing that people have come back and they've said when they start actually taking, molecular iodine and spraying it in the back of their throat, it converts to an iodide. This magical process happens in our stomach. Different people come back with, we have clearer thinking. One of them that always comes back, or several of them, is that they're not getting sick as often. So if they do get sick, they're going to recover quicker. But one thing that is fun is change nothing, and you can lose a few pounds. Okay, so this is almost like going to the gym with a little bottle in your hand to be able to say, "Hey, I haven't changed anything." And Daryl, he's going to harp on you about exercising and eating correctly and all of those things, and all of those are 100% right. But the fact is, this element, if you ingest it into your body, your metabolism naturally speeds up. One of the things that happens is you are going to have more energy. A byproduct of that is simple: you lose weight. This is not an illogical thing. You have more energy, you're going to naturally lose weight. So it may get you off the couch a little more often. It may get you out being more active with children, but you'll have that energy in you to be able to do it. And there's no crash from this. This energy is for life. And that's the beautiful thing about this, is that your metabolism, like your immune system, like your thyroid, they work for our whole lives. We don't want them to be sluggish. If you have a sluggish thyroid, you're going to end up gaining weight. You're going to end up having all kinds of issues with your body. If you have a sluggish immune system, you're going to get sick more often. You need to have strong immune system and warriors. If you have a sluggish metabolism, obesity will create its own health issues for us. So from the infinite iodine perspective, now we can talk about the product itself versus the science behind this. The infinite iodine product has molecular iodine in it. And that's what our body produces. Iodine is one of the most energetic molecules on the periodic table. We've only got 118 or 120 of them. 25 are supposed to go in our body. One of those has got more energy than all the other ones. It's iodine. So we know why it needs to be in our cells. It's energy. And to give you an example of how much energy this possesses, NASA about 8 years ago started to work with iodine in space in order to propel their spacecraft, and they went over from xenon gas over to iodine. Very simple. And a few years back, they actually were able to take the energy from iodine and launch something from Earth with iodine to space. So that energy is actually harnessed inside all of us at a cellular level. But if we don't provide the basic element of iodide for our bodies to do something with it, is not a good thing for us. It's catastrophic at a cellular level, and that comes out over time in your body. Very simple. So, Daryl, I've been speaking too much. What can you add? What can you add?
Well, if you don't mind, somebody just asked me. The Infinite Iodine sale will be on until, I think, Monday, next Monday. That's right. And somebody else asked that when it comes to things like inflammation in the body, where does iodine play a part?
Iodine, oddly enough, reduces inflammation. The scientific work has been done on that. It's very straightforward, and it reduces pain. Both of those are associated with the intake of iodine at nutrient levels into your body. Helps enormously.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I'm being asked here, how much infinite iodine should I give my 7-year-old child?
3 sprays a day. Okay, an adult needs 5, child needs about 3. So different countries have different standards for children, and some of them they're saying that from newborns up until 4 years old need 45 micrograms a day, for example. Then the next age group would be to go from so many years old up to 10. They're going to need 90, and from 10 until you're 16, 17, then you need 110. And then you need 150 when you turn 18 magically. Okay, so those are the guidelines. So with the infinite iodine product, you're looking at 3 sprays every day. Very, very simple. In the morning after they brush their teeth, say, here's 3 sprays. That's going to give them the energy they're looking for to get through the day. It's going to help their brain stay clear. And it's also going to help their immune system when they're in school.
All right, Jennifer says, I'm 70 pounds overweight. Do I just need 5 sprays or do I need more sprays to actually correct my metabolism?
It's a very good question, because most of the people that have been writing back to us have been saying at 5 sprays a day, they've been losing weight. And it's not something that is going to happen in 2 days. This is something that's gradual, because your metabolism starts to pick up, your energy levels start to pick up. This is not going to hurt your system. The problem with dieting is that when people go through diets and they go, oh, I lost 20 pounds in a month, that is an incredibly hard thing for your body to go through, depending how it's being done, for example. So with this element in your body, 5 sprays a day is going to actually slowly start to knock the weight off over months. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have people that have said over a 6-month period, they lost 20 or 30 pounds and done nothing other than spray iodine at the back of your throat. That is a lot to lose over 6 months. And I'm going, wow. So it just depends on your own metabolism, your own size, okay, and your own genetics. But 5 sprays a day is what you need every day.
All right. Jesse says, my mother took iodine. She thinks it was Lugos iodine, and she did a higher dosage because her thyroid was low. And she only did it for 6 weeks, and she dropped so much weight, and she's struggling to get it back on, and she was told that she blew her thyroid with the iodine.
Lugol's, we've talked about this. It was developed in 1827 to treat tuberculosis, to be followed by a doctor. Extremely high dosing product, not to be taken on a daily basis. Dangerous. Okay, so that is an issue with the iodine technologies today, is that the ones that are ingestible were not designed for every day. Infinite iodine is the only technology in the 21st century that's been designed for everyday consumption. Everything for ingestion prior to that was essentially structured to treat a disease for a short period of time and then move forward in it from a healthy perspective. And in this instance, you've used the term, she may have blown out her thyroid, because the fact is it was far overdosed, because in Lugol's, you don't only have molecular iodine, you also have extremely high dosing potassium iodide, which they used as a solvent. It wasn't something that was there for a beneficial purpose in 1827. It was there as a solvent, so that way the molecular iodine could be dissolved in the water. It couldn't be done without it. So you couple the molecular iodine loading and the potassium iodide loading, and yes, you can overdose with it. It's a dangerous product to use over time. You've got to be followed by a physician. Even though you may be able to go and just buy it over the counter, it's dangerous. You know, it is dangerous. It's as simple as that. Any high, you know, it's like drinking a high amount of chlorine is dangerous for us. Drinking a high amount of any product is going to be too dangerous, including water. So when you're talking about these high dosing iodine technologies that are the only ones that are available other than this, be very careful. Talk to your physician about this, or your health practitioner, and ask questions like you're asking of Daryl right now, because then at least you can get the right answer. You shouldn't be doing these high dosing products. If you have an issue, deal with your doctor and work through that with somebody who is in the know. Because if you just think that you can self-medicate yourself with high dosing technologies, regardless of what they can hurt you.
Very good. Okay, so Jim says, I'm a natural health practitioner. Would you please explain in simple terms, though, the difference between Lugos, Nascent, and Infinite Iodine?
Yep, we just talked about Lugos. Lugos is a blend of molecular iodine and potassium iodide at very high concentrations. You're talking about milligrams, not micrograms. That's number one. That's what that technology was developed for. Very high dosing molecular iodine into our bloodstream. That's what they wanted to do with that. It was into the bloodstream in order to treat a disease. That's why it was developed. Nascent iodine, on the other hand, was developed 100 years later, 1930. That technology came from a dream of a prophet called Edgar Cayce. He had a dream that our body needed nascent iodine. New term. There's no such thing as nascent iodine before then. New term. Needed nascent iodine. So in order to create what they called nascent iodine, which is a single positively charged molecule of iodine, that's what we're talking about here. Our body produces it in our thyroid. And I've been working with iodine for 35 years. I haven't seen anything else in the world that produces atomic iodine other than our thyroid. Okay? So our thyroid takes iodide and produces atomic iodine to attach it to T3, T4 molecules. The 3 and the 4 are atomic iodine, natural ones. All right?
Okay.
What they did with Nascent was they took an existing iodine technology, not Lugol's, but tincture, had 98% alcohol, 2% molecular iodine. Iodine doesn't dissolve in water. They used alcohol in the early late 1800s to make a tincture. Edgar Cayce knew of that technology. So he said, if we hit that solution with a massive amount of electricity in order to separate the molecular iodine covalent bond. Oddly enough, molecular iodine, 2 molecules are together and they act as one. It's able to kill a bacteria and deactivate a virus. And then it becomes an iodide. It's spent its energy. In order to artificially separate that covalent bond, takes a massive amount of electricity to do that. And that's what nascent iodine is. So they separated the natural covalent bond to be an unnatural, positively charged iodine molecule, but they can't call it atomic because our thyroid produces atomic iodine. This is not natural. So they called it nascent iodine. And in the process of heavily electrifying the solution, they added more electrical charge to that single iodine molecule. That's also not natural. So that is what nascent iodine is. So when we ingest nascent iodine, you now have a highly charged, single positive charge molecule running through your blood. Your thyroid will look at it, and our thyroid will become sluggish to say, we don't need to make atomic iodine, it's here. And attach it right to the T3, T4 hormone. So now you're bypassing 2 functions of your thyroid, the extraction of the iodide in a natural process and converting it into atomic iodine at the right energy level for our body. So nascent iodine, you now understand the science on how the technology is produced. That's what it is. And when it gets into our body, it'll affect your thyroid, because if you were to use nascent iodine, and this is something that's been observed by the medical industry, they asked and posed a question, because in 100 years, nobody has done any science work with nascent iodine. Why not? And nascent iodine, when they market their product, talk about molecular iodine's attributes, or they'll talk about atomic iodine's attributes, but they never talk about nascent iodine attributes because they've never done any work with it. So when I pose questions about a technology, when it comes to iodine, because I know all of them extremely well, that technology, I always question why it was created. And what are the side effects of having an overcharged single iodine molecule running through your bloodstream because apparently it takes several hours for that charge to dissipate. Then what? So if we don't know the science and nobody's done the work, I wouldn't take it myself. Not a chance. Okay. Now, like I say, I work with a group of medical doctors that are world renowned. And Dr. Steve has access to the National Library of Medicine. He ran it for 20 years. He's one of the top doctors in the world. And I asked him a simple question before I met with a man who manufactures nascent iodine. Okay. And I talked to Dr. Steve and I said, Doc, I'm meeting with this guy about his nascent product. And Dr. Steve's reaction was, never even heard of it. There's been no work that's ever been done in medical history on this stuff. And they're making claims that it's not that it's something else.
I know a couple practitioners that market a lot of product, and they're saying that their nascent iodine is different than everybody else's now.
Here's the thing. That's like saying molecular iodine is different than everybody else's. Okay, molecular iodine gets released out of betadine. Molecular iodine gets released on tincture. That's what it is. Molecular iodine is what it's in Ionovo. That's in its purest form. So why would you, I pose the questions. They're very simple. If the science is not there to say that this is something that's beneficial for your thyroid, that's nowhere to be seen. Is it beneficial for you at a cellular level? We don't know. They've never done the work. You have anecdotal stuff that people say, oh, I'm feeling better. Well, that doesn't really cut it in the science world when people say I'm feeling better. Very simple. So if you're bypassing a certain function of your thyroid or any other organ in your body, it's like putting your arm in a sling for 2 years. When you take the sling off, is your arm going to work?
Right. I get it. Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you can go natural, that's what you need to do. So it's easy for them to take the original nascent iodine molecule and say, oh, I'm going to put it in this solution, or I'm going to put it in that solution in order for you to absorb it better in your body. Show me the science of anything, please. Okay, I'm a science guy. So, Daryl, you and I come from a certain background where there's times where you have to connect the dots, but the science has to be done to connect the dots. You can't just steal, you can't refer to somebody else's work that they've done to say mine's just like theirs, unless you're working with the exact same technology and the exact same product. And in our case, I take exception because when they refer to the benefits that molecular iodine has, you can't say nascent iodine has those in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't. It's not designed to do that in our body. Our body controls the iodine species it needs. It controls. Anything that we do that's not natural, how can it be good for us?
I get it. I do.
Okay, sorry, I get a little emotional over that one because every single iodine technology in 200 years, when they've introduced it's been a game changer for the human race. It really has, except that one. And that, why? Because you show me the science, and I'm happy to say I'll spend years reading the science, but it's not there.
I get it. Kim says, I have a cyst on, no, Francine, I'll read Kim's, well, let me do Kim. Kim, I already announced it once. The sale's on, I think, until next Monday night. Okay, so it's on for a few more days with the Infinite Iodine sale. So yeah. Next thing, Francine, I have a cyst on my thyroid. They say it's benign. I had way too many dental x-rays, seriously. Can I apply the iodine on my skin in the area as well as oral? I'll let you answer that, Terry, but everybody, if you're watching, you can go to Doc of Detox on Telegram, Doc of Detox, Twitter, otherwise X, Rumble, Facebook, and YouTube. That's right, all of those, okay? Terry, what do you think?
There's nothing detrimental to doing it. It's only beneficial. Very simple. Molecular iodine, you have to have it inside your body to fight from the inside. And if you're spraying it outside on the skin area, it is going to go through your bloodstream, through your cells, and it will be present there. There's no doubt. But you do have to ingest it. It's far more important than a topical spray, just so that you know. The topical spray will be an additional benefit, yes. And we've had a lot of customers that have said it has helped them enormously. Let us know how you do.
Absolutely. And also, it wouldn't hurt for you to also put a little bit of rose cream on here, DMSO, to increase the circulation in the area. And you can also rub some frankincense on that area. Well, very high vibrational, could help someone. And also clap the side of your neck, okay, to increase the circulation. Get yourself a clapper. You've probably seen it on my show. Terry, I have another question here. Lisa says, I have a tumor and it has opened up, and it has blood coming out and pus. Can I soak or put infinite iodine directly into the open tumor in my breast?
Yes, you can. Hopefully you're being, this sounds really terrible. Hopefully you're actually being followed by a specialist. It's helping you along with this, that you're not just sort of self-administering stuff. But there has been work that when there's been a lot of breast cancer work, you can Google it right now. If you can't find it in Daryl's library or it's not easily accessible, you can Google iodine and fibroid cysts and cancer. And molecular iodine, based on the science that was done, the way that it kills a cancer cell is the same way it'll terminate a normal cell, is through apoptosis. It'll actually go into the cell and kill it from the inside. That's how it works. So you do have to ingest it in order to get molecular iodine into the cells that'll protect the whole area around, because based on the science work that was done, on the mode of action work that they indicated, was that around the tumor, all of the cells around the tumor were extremely loaded with molecular iodine in order to stop the tumor from expanding. And once all of the cell tissue was heavily loaded with molecular iodine, then molecular iodine then went in to take on the tumor itself. That's the mode of action, but it's based on apoptosis, of killing it from the inside out. In order to get that into those cells, you need to be able to ingest it. This is critical, and you're going to want to take it on an empty stomach, because if you're taking iodide in, for example, on a full stomach, most of your stomach acids will get involved with digestion versus the conversion of iodide to molecular iodine. So in those instances where you're looking to generate molecular iodine in your bloodstream, definitely ingest it. That's for sure. When you also take a look at the work that's been done, for the work that was done for fibroids and fibroid cysts, for example, it wasn't 5 sprays a day of infinite iodine or molecular iodine. It was actually 45 mils. It was, an ounce and a half of one of those little bottles every day. And it wasn't only a couple of women that tried this. You're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of women that have done this. So educate yourself. This is something that you're asking the questions. Look at iodine, look at the work that's been done for the specific problem you have, and we can talk about it, because the science has been done for the past 30, 40 years on this topic. It's not something brand new.
Wonderful. Helen, can I use it in my eyes for mites?
Mites?
Mites in the eyes. Yeah, of course you could.
Yep, it's a new one on me. I know that people put it in for styes and problems with their tear ducts and things like that help enormously. Haven't heard the mites one. Let us know how you do. I don't think they're going to like being there with an iodine environment. But I can tell you that this is, you don't stick it right in front of your eyeball to spray it. Just give yourself a little bit of space based on what people have been telling me, because that is something to repurpose, is to spray it onto your face and into your eyes. And people have come back and said they've actually had great results.
Beautiful. All right. Is there anything you'd like to leave everybody with, Terry?
As usual, love your show, Daryl. You do a good job explaining people how important it is to get the bad stuff out of your body and make sure you're putting the right stuff into it. This is not debatable. This is not debatable what we're talking about when it comes to iodine. You need it every day in your body. And if you think that you're getting it from the diet you're eating right now, you're not. Fact. You have to eat 15 pounds of codfish every month just to keep your thyroid running, not the rest of your body, just your thyroid. So don't fool yourself. The average person around the world right now is insufficient of iodine. Very, very simple. We have to have it within our bodies. Take it every day. Don't, make it a ritual, because often people will look to say, I need it because I have a problem. This is something that you want to take to avoid problems. That's the whole idea about educating ourselves and the next generation and the next generation after them. They want to have less disease not more. They'd like to live older and be smarter than us, not less. Well, unfortunately, that trend has changed over the last couple of decades, where the next generation doesn't have the same financial capabilities we did in our generation, doesn't have the same IQ, doesn't have the same health that we've had. So we really need to educate the people and do this. It's simple. Put it beside your toothbrush in the morning, 5 sprays in the mouth. Very easy. If you're around people that are sick, or if you feel there's a cold coming on, the doctors have repurposed it and gone to 15 sprays in the mouth for 7 days, and symptom free after a few days for their patients. So this is something that is a natural element. And now that you know it, please tell everybody you know. Very, very simple. Because if you don't get the message out, it takes longer to get the world to know. And between us, the World Health Organization has done a terrible job educating us about iodine deficiency, or iodide deficiency to be more correct, because there's 2 billion people with it in severe cases right now around the world. 2 billion. And that's more than the whole population of us 100 years ago. So this is not something that is trending in the right direction. And it's really up to us with the new social media formats and platforms in order to get the education out there. That's all. Very simple. And if you're going to buy an iodine product, we've just educated you. The fact is, they're very rare in a pure format. Infinite Iodine is. You can order it online. You get it delivered to your door within a day or two. It will change your life.
Thank you, Terry. And enjoy your trip that's coming up, and we'll have you on next month.
Will.
Okay?
All right. We'll talk soon. If you need me, give me a holler.
Thanks, my friend.
Thanks, Daryl.
Be well.
You too.
There you go. And understand, you have to do your own research, and you'll find out that Infinite Iodine is the only pure, non-toxic iodine on the planet. Have you ever heard of anybody being able to take 1.5 ounces of any other iodine? They couldn't do it. It'd be life-threatening. It would be absolutely life-threatening. Okay, just remember, and when he was talking about that, just know this. We will have the sale on until, I think it's over on Monday night, but we have the 4 ounce and we have the 16 ounce bottle on sale. And depending on how much you buy, we're talking about up to 50% savings. And the reason why we're doing this is like I told you, we are going from 3 fulfillment centers in the States to 1. The reason why is what we found is when somebody else does something for you, they don't do a great job. They don't pack things the way we like. Their overnight service isn't overnight. And the other reality is, with my own fulfillment center, I don't have to put my products up. And the problem is everybody that I work with has done a price increase. And the reality is we do not want to put our prices up at all. So the deal was, when we saw this coming, because everybody's inflating their products now, it's their big excuse to bring in more money. I get it. But the reality is we're going to choke our brothers and sisters if we don't watch it. So we all should try to strategize to see if we can be easier on everybody, and that's what we're trying to do. Okay? Anyways, so I just want to show you a couple things. Take a look. Okay, how do I set this up? Yeah, to the other one. Yeah, I can't find the cursor. No. Let me see. No. Can you come? Just come. It's okay. I'm just trying to find where this is. You see it? All right, there you go. I just want to share this with you if you're still on anybody and everybody. And that is that 2 years ago, I ran the Ixtapa World Healing and Training Center here in Mexico. And it was an amazing thing. Back then, we would have up to almost 200 people coming. We've changed the whole game plan, and that is that we have a really beautiful retreat now, and we don't take more than 2 families or just no more than 8 people per time, and we're doing lots of different things with training and treating. So if you want, go to dod5star.com and you'll see all our personal treatment and trainings. You can come down here, do an advanced water fast. You can come down here just to retreat and just drink and eat the best things in the world, because all of our everything down here in Mexico almost is all organic, and you don't have to pay for organic. There's no chemtrails. There's no 5G. Okay, there's no GMOs. Okay, I'm just telling you that a lot of people think that this is a third world nation. Well, it isn't to me. It's first world. And here's where we're going to be doing to do our courses: Melbourne, Australia. Okay, Stewart, Florida. Sage, Dr. Sage in Melbourne right now. And the course starts on February the 21st. And that's a Wolf non-surgical course. And then the one in Stewart will be a whole life coach certification by me. And then a Wolf non-surgical by Dr. Sage Wolf. And then a pelvic course by Simran and Lorraine. And that starts June the 5th. And that will be the last course in the United States for this year. There will not be another course. Coffs Harbour will be in Australia doing the same thing. It'll be the only one for this year. It starts August the 7th. Another one in Rhodes, Greece in October. And again back in Ixtapa, Mexico in October the 17th. And what we're doing is, as you know, the people that believe that they can rule us, school us, and fool us are trying to make it really difficult and trying to enslave us. So the reality is this: after these, I will only be doing courses at Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, at our Retreat Healing Center. And it's the most beautiful place in the world. It truly is. And it'll be less expensive. When you come down here to our courses, you'll be fed all organic, juicing. It'll all be part of the course. Everything will be here. You only have to come and show up. That's it. When you come here for a healing retreat, you just have to come and show up. No matter what your condition is, trust me, we know what we're doing. We've got a cardio med bed, Cellsonic, we've got an Avicin, we've got the most powerful red light therapy in the world, and the list goes on. I won't go through it. We have electric bikes for you. We have in the back of the retreat, we have a beautiful pool, structured, ozonated. Okay, come down and heal yourself. Okay, take care of yourself. You might want to just come down as an adventure, or maybe there's something really going on, or you may want to actually come down for a personal certification in Wolf non-surgical. Or if you can't get here, Dr. Sage Wolf will fly anywhere around the world to you. Okay, these are our pricing for all our courses if you're interested. So please take a look at that, okay? And decide on where you would like to meet us, where you'd like to come. And go to Braveheart Nation University if you want more information on our courses. And just know this, because of what's going on right now, we have brought all our course prices down by 35 to 40%. Not kidding, we have to. I mean, everybody's feeling the pinch out there. And at the end of the day, it's about our passion, our mission. It's not, we can't always put money first, and that's the God's truth. So if you're interested in going to Melbourne, Australia, whether you want to take the course that's going to be happening on the 21st of this month, or in Australia in August, you see Tora Klein. Tora Klein actually has a retreat center. She does personal treatment and trainings like we do in Mexico, but she does them actually in Australia, Tora Klein. And she's going to be looking after the New World Practitioner training that's going to be happening, the third one down, you can see her. She's going to be looking after that with the August, and then Andrea Exton is looking after the one that'll be Wolf non-surgical that's taking place on the 21st. And these are the other people that you can get in touch with. If you want to come to Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico, then get in touch with me. And just know this, that after this year, we will not be teaching anywhere our courses except, ready? Zihuatanejo, Ixtapa, Mexico, Prosper, Texas, okay, and Kelowna, British Columbia. Those three places will be the only places, because we want to have all our equipment there, everything that everybody needs, and we need it more convenient. And whether you believe this or not, they haven't kicked off the biggest Super Bowl of all, the biggest Super Bowl, which means that they are going to cause total chaos here within a few weeks to a few months, and that's going to last for at least 3 to 5 years. And the reality is I want some place where people can feel safe and settled. And the main one here, believe it or not, is in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico. A lot of people have been told that Mexico is a scary place. Well, they don't even know what they're talking about. And what do you do when you don't want people to experience the most beautiful place in the world? You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I love it down here. You know, I have a place in Puerto Rico. I have a place in Texas. And my favorite place in the world is here. And it's not just because the food is about 25% of the cost and it's organic. It's not just because of the chemtrails. It's no chemtrails. It's not just because there's no 5G. It's not because there's no GMOs down here. Okay, pesticides and herbicides. I'll tell you what it is. It's the people. They're beautiful. And being at the beach. Like Terry just said on the show, I can go swimming, which I'm going to be doing here. I have a show here tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And on that show, we're going to be going through how you as a practitioner anywhere in the world can actually get in. Oh, wait, before I move on to that, this is called the Perfect Day Guide. It's free, the PDG. Just go to pdgfree.com. This is a 550-page manual. This is the most powerful take action, self-care, self-love manual you'll ever read, and it's free. Okay, all you got to do is download it. Don't like it? Erase it. I guarantee it, if you took the time to go through it, you'll learn more than the practitioner you go to. And there's a challenge, eh? And let me just, that's tonight, everyone. So see this, Sovereign Indigenous Worldwide Practitioner Protection. Live show tonight with Dr. Ben Aguirre, and it's on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is protection from the government, a governmental control worth to you? Every natural health or medical professional out there should watch this show tonight. You can actually be adopted by the indigenous, the Taino tribe, and that's right, and you can get your indigenous plant medicine doctorate, and understand, they can't drag you into white man's court. It doesn't matter, local, provincial, state, national, or international. You have to understand that the WHO, United Nations, have all confirmed this, and it's went all the way through Supreme Court and been tested. And understand, we have a few people that actually get tested where they try to haul them in by, oh, you're not allowed to touch people. Oh, you don't have a license. You have a license to do this. Oh, you can't talk about natural health care if you're in the medical system. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do that. Well, guess what? This allows you to get outside the system, and this allows you the protection that you deserve. So check this out tonight. If you don't have time to join me, then please go to bhnuniversity.com or braveheartnation.com, and you will be able to see the Indigenous slideshow there, and we'll also put up tonight's show if you want to see it. Please let practitioners know that help is not just on the way, but protection is there. And understand something, we all need to be protected. We need to use the rules of these fools to protect us, okay? And natural health needs to stay alive. Okay, let me see here. 1 second, my apologies. And that's it. This is the actual license to practice Indigenous medicine, if you take a look at this. Okay? All right? And like I said, you can go to bhnuniversity.com. We put it right on here that everything would cost about $3,000 completed. All right? And this is all the studying you do, and this is being certified. All right? Thank you. And you can go to store.docofdetox.com, but go to Braveheart Nation University if you want more information. Okay? And just know this, within 2 months, we'll have the most advanced health app in the world, and it really is. You'll be able to find your tribe if you want. You'll be able to find like-minded spirit beings. Do you ever notice how hard it is to find a partner? Okay, a lover, a teammate. It was my idea to put this together. This is actually also has in the app so that high-spirited people who want to evolve, who come as spirit beings and understand that this is a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure, okay? And they know that that's what it is. And you want to find someone that when you say to someone, hey, do you like this? They don't lie to you. Hey, you know, you want to find somebody not fearful. You want to find somebody that is not part of the majority. Okay, so think about this. You want to find someone that's part of the minority. Okay? You want to find someone that is fearless. You want to find someone that has adventure. You want to find someone that understands that they are an immortal spirit and that we're here to grow and evolve. And that's why there's so many other things about this app. This app has more things going on. It even has a reminder on there where a little bell or a chime goes off, whether it's 1 minute or 5 minutes. Are you smiling? Do you have your shoulders back? Okay? Are you in the present moment? Okay? Are you loving and caring for yourself? But there's so much more. We have all kinds of groups. We're going to be reaching out to different people, it doesn't matter, different religions, different nationalities, different colors, different trains of thoughts. We want to bring the whole world in there. Okay? Our Braveheart Nation app is called the Toss Salad. We want to have people with different views and different beliefs, but every one of them, they can be different views and different beliefs. The only thing that we ask is that they're based on unconditional love and care. That's it. That's all we want, okay? And we want to bring this app and we want to gift it to the world. And that's it. And don't forget about the highway of life, everyone, because your highway of life is everything. From your mouth to your rectum, that's the main road to travel. And then take a look at this. This is all about the large intestine. Go into my library and go watch the Highway of Life in my library and go watch the Holy Grail, your large intestine, and tell me that you haven't learned more in those 2 videos than the whole time you're in school about health and healing for yourself. All right? And remember, everyone, the only permanent health care is self-care. The only permanent love is self-love. To rise to your full potential, first, love yourself, okay? And don't forget, we need mantras. We need something that we can repeat, something that will help us have an inner standing, that we are worth everything, that our words matter, that what we think actually matters. What you speak and what you think, okay, actually has created your whole external environment and the internal environment of your body. So please check out the Braveheart Oath. And then guess what? Nail it. Learn it. And then down the road, make your own. But make sure that whatever that Braveheart Oath is for yourself, it empowers you. It lets you totally off the hook. It allows you to be in the present moment. And it allows you to not believe that disease is real. I'm telling you right now. This here and this here have created everything. Talk differently, think differently, think high vibrational, talk high vibrational, and guess what? You'll be having the life that they promised, but guess who's going to deliver it? It'll be done by you. It's called self-care. It's called self-love. God bless everyone. 3, 2, 1. We've got this when we come together.